guys, welcome to another Game Boy Advance Hidden Gems. This is going to be 9 more games that I've been wanting to tell you guys about. Very excited to do this video. I've been wanting to do this third one for a while. I got a lot of cool things that I think you guys will really enjoy. So let's get right to it. Tang Tang was originally an arcade game. The Game Boy Advance port of it really reminds me of this game I had when I was a kid called Solomon's Key. Basically, you try to collect these coins, and once you collect all the coins, a door opens. So you have to go through a lot of obstacles just to get to them, trying to dodge enemies, and you can attack back and everything, but you just have to be very careful because you only have a limited number of lives before you get to the boss, and every time you lose all your lives, you have to start the level over again, which can be annoying sometimes. For the most part, I really enjoyed this game. It's a lot of fun. I just wish that it had some of the music that the arcade version has. The arcade version really has a catchy soundtrack. But as you progress through this game, you'll go through different planets, and after doing 10 levels, on the 10th level of each planet, you'll fight a boss. The bosses range from different kind of monsters, depending on the planet you go to. Since we're seeing the ice planet right now, you'll see a snowman as the boss, he's kind of annoying, but he's still pretty easy to beat. Yeah, this is what I recommend when you first start this game, to do the ice planet first. So if you're a fan of these type of puzzle adventure games, try it out. Tang Tang's a cool option. CT Special Forces is a total hidden gem. Now, I'm adding both games in here, but what we're going to look at is the first game. This game pretty much plays like a Metal Slug game. If you're a fan of the Metal Slug games, this is definitely right up your alley. This game was totally hidden to me. I found out about it 2 years ago, and I forgot the name of it, so it was weird trying to find it again, but I found it, and now that I found out that 2 games came out to America on the Game Boy Advance, and they are really cool. I'm surprised with as good as this game looked, it didn't get that much recognition. It really looks like the Metal Slug game, so that's what really drew my attention. You can actually, enemies in this game, you can actually capture some, and you get more points for doing that. You can also shoot them too, but you get less for that. But like I said, it's a really cool game, lots of fun. Now here we're looking at the second game. The second game has different elements to it. You know, there's a shooter part, which you're seeing right now, which is fun. And then later on, you play the running gun part again, and it really changes things up in the second one. I like that kind of stuff. The second game is more the same, which is a good thing. You pretty much go against terrorists, you're shooting them, finding out intel, things like that. The game is really heavy on story in a way, it has a lot of text, which I'm not showing right now, but you can actually skip past the text, unlike games like Mega Man X5, if you guys remember that. But anyways, it's just a really fun game. And also, with a little secret, this actually came out on the PlayStation in PAL territories, so just in case anybody wants to move up to that version, it's pretty much the same, but it's just a better, I would say it's just a more better graphical looking version of the game. A lot of people don't know that Super Ghouls and Ghosts was released for the Game Boy Advance as well. This version is actually updated in graphics. Everything looks a lot better. You'll notice that from the beginning. Everything's a lot brighter, just very blown up at you. This was probably one of the first console games to scare the crap out of me. I remember playing the original Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo at home by myself, and it just scared the crap out of me. The intro scene in the beginning, where the princess is kidnapped, is just insane. It looks better on this version, but it still doesn't capture the essence of the Super Nintendo version for some reason. Seems like something's off. But even so, it's still well done. As you can see right here, it's good looking, but it's just not as scary as the other one for me. I mean, the other one was just darker, the dark window. I don't know what it is. I just felt that one's better. But enough about that. Let's get into this game. So what's really cool about this game is that it has an arrange mode. Now, I would tell people to play the arrange mode because you can select what levels you go to as you progress through the story. This game has exclusive new levels, and my mic cut out on me. But anyways, you start from the original first level, then you can choose whatever level you want to go to. The arrange mode also, you only have to beat the game once, unlike the original version where you have to beat the game twice in a row to get the real ending. You can play it all in this. You can play the whole game in this one setting. All you need to do is just get the right weapon to defeat the boss, and which becomes available randomly, and you can use that to go ahead and fight the final boss. This game also has, I believe, 2 of the Genesis versions levels, the windmill level, and I believe there's one other level I can't remember that's on this version from the Genesis version. That's also nice. I believe it also has one of the original Ghosts and Goblins, one of its levels upgraded on this game as well. The newer levels that you'll see, I believe there's like 4 to 5 of them, are actually really unique, but they are tough, so you have to bring your skills with you because this game is no joke, as you guys know. I mean, the Ghouls and Ghosts games are pretty brutal, but if you're an expert like myself, you'll get through them in no time. This game does suffer from some slowdown, depending on which level you're on. You want to get enemies off the screen as soon as possible because you don't want the game to start slowing down or anything like that, but usually that's pretty easy to do. So the new levels come new bosses. These guys really feel like they are a part of the game. They really feel unique. I was actually thinking that they might have been like ideas from the original game that just didn't make it to the final cut. I had a really good time figuring these guys out and their new tactics. They really feel a part of the game. Not only a part of the game, but they don't feel like an afterthought. They really feel like fleshed out. These really feel like these demonic enemies are a part of the series, and they're very rememberable. If you're a fan of adventure platformers, you'll definitely like Super Ghouls and Ghosts for the Game Boy Advance. I actually choose this version over the Super Nintendo version just because of the way you could choose your levels, and you only have to play through the game once if you play the arranged mode. You know, that's also a nice touch. So hope you guys check this one out. Advanced Guardian Heroes for the Game Boy Advance. This is a sequel or semi-sequel to Guardian Heroes for the Sega Saturn and the Xbox 360 Live. This is a beat 'em up with RPG elements. You can level your characters up. You can choose between a lot of characters in the beginning, but you unlock them more after you beat the game. This game is pretty action-packed. Probably one of my favorite beat 'em ups on the Game Boy Advance. The only problem with this game is that a lot of people notice too is that it has immense slowdown when a lot of things are going on the screen. So I would suggest if you pick a character in this game, pick somebody with more beat 'em up elements, because if you pick a magic user, it's going to cause the game to slow down a bit. Now, the game actually has a deep story, but it's actually kind of hard to follow because they actually translated the Japanese script like literally, like, you know, they didn't try to make any sense of it really, so the English is really kind of broken. I understand the story somewhat, but it's just kind of weird that they didn't translate it properly, but it doesn't hurt the game at all. It's still a lot of fun, very deep, involving battle system. You can level up, which is nice. You can get really powerful if you do things right. And after you beat the game, you actually get to unlock the original heroes from the first game, which I've already done. You can probably see them here as I'm using them in the battlefield right now. The game is 2-player co-op, which I've only seen once, as I played it once back in the day. I don't have a second copy, but I should get one because it's nice to see these type of games able to have co-op, you know, so a second cartridge wouldn't be a bad idea for this game. Also, one thing you need to remember about this game, it can be extremely easy or extremely hard depending on how you play it and the difficulties you set. You know, I would set it right in the middle, like the medium, but you know, that could be too hard for some people because the game starts out pretty rough. So you have to level up pretty fast and level up the right elements. All in all, I really enjoyed this game. I like it a lot. It might not be for everybody, but it's definitely what I would consider a hidden gem if you could look past its flaws, the slowdown, and things like that. You know, I was just happy to actually get a sequel to the original game because the original game was like, it's just a cult classic of a lot of fun, awesome game. And it's kind of sad that we haven't seen any more games like this, you know. I mean, this took beat 'em ups to another level, in my opinion. You know, to add an intriguing story, things like that, it just made it really cool. But check it out if you have a chance. Cima the Enemy, also known as Frontier Stories, is a tactical action RPG from what I've played so far. That's the best way to describe this game. So there's the human race and the Cima race. The Cima race are pretty much the monsters you fight throughout the game. Now at the beginning, you're on your way to a destination, but somehow you hit some kind of like dimension portal. And when you hit this portal, you're transferred to, I would say, this kind of like an area in between station. And your train that you're on is pretty much, I don't want to say it's cut in half, but that's just the best way to put it. It's kind of cut in half, and you and the remaining passengers are like stuck together, and you have to find a way to work together to survive so far. At least this is what I played so far. I'm still somewhat in the beginning stages of the game. I'm in the middle. Yeah, I'm in the beginning right now, so I'm trying to complete it. But this is so far what I could tell. So the game pretty much plays out where you're all together at the same time, but you just kind of like work together and you try to protect each other from being attacked. You could command everybody to move around to certain areas so they won't be attacked. That really helps out, and you just kind of move everybody around and you kind of protect each other, and you all level up while doing this. Anyways, guys, check out Cima, the enemy. I think it's a total hidden gem. Rescue Heroes, Billy Blazes. This is a Way Forward title. You guys know I love Way Forward. They put out some solid games, and this game is no exception. I just recently found out about this title. Well, actually, I knew about it for a couple of years, but I just totally forgot about it, and I recently picked it up finally. Very happy I did, because this game was one of those games that really it would have been forgotten, especially because of the way the cover looks. You know, the cover looks kind of silly. By looking at the cover, you might not take it seriously. I mean, it looks like a kid's game, which it is a kid's game, but that's still, it's still a fun game, actually. Very simple title, bare bones, I would say, when it comes to just what you have to do in the game. You put out fires and you rescue civilians. And also, the game changes it up where it turns into like a shoot 'em up bonus level after each of the levels, from what I've seen. But I like the music, and I like the way the game controls. It's very simple. You get different accessories too to help you during your quest. You get your hose, of course. You get an axe to break boxes with. You just pretty much go around rescuing people, and that's an all right thing. Even though this game it has a physical release, I feel like it still would be lost in time, because it's just a total game that like people will forget about, and it's totally, that shouldn't be the case. There's something that's always intrigued me about firemen. Anybody who could put on that gear and run into a fire. I mean, seriously, man, because if you haven't been around a fire, you guys know that heat is intense. It's serious business. But anybody who could do something like that, man, is a true hero. Anyways, guys, go pick up a copy of Real Heroes, Billy Blazes. You won't regret it. Gundam Fight. Ready, go! Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Assault is a 2D fighting game for the Game Boy Advance. I'm a big fan of the G Gundam fighting series, anime on TV. That was the one with Master Asia, one of my favorite villains and protagonists, it depends on the way you look at them. But anyways, this is a solid fighting game for the Game Boy Advance system. A lot of fun. Totally went under my radar over the years. I found out about it actually 2 years ago, and I picked it up. It really feels solid, to be honest. The moves are easy to pull off. It's actually compelling. You actually have 2 health bars. First, you have your green bar. Then after the green bar depletes, then there's your red health. So that shows you where you get finished off and everything. You can do super moves, regular moves. It's just really good. Now, even though I said you don't have to be a fan of the Gundam series to enjoy this game, it will make it a lot more enjoyable if you are a fan of that series, because, man, seriously, these type of games, you don't really see them being made this way anymore. Everybody's gone the 3D route, and it's just like, man, I just love a good one-on-one battle here and there. Now, I'm not on the competition level, but basic skills, casually, it's a lot of fun. So if you guys see this game, check it out. So Boulder Dash EX is a sequel to our remake of the regular Boulder Dash. Now, the classic game is on here, but I don't recommend anybody playing it. I'm not going to show any footage on here because it'll hurt your eyes. But this game adds a story mode about a rabbit named Alex. I think he's either a rabbit or a cat. I don't know what he is. But him and his friend Sonia are running out to play at the lake. And they end up sitting down and relaxing, and Alex actually gives Sandra a gift, and she goes ecstatic for it. But when games start out this way, they can't last all happily forever. So as soon as this happens, something bad happens, and of course you have to go on the rescue. Now, Boulder Dash pretty much plays like where you collect jewels, and you have to try to collect them without getting crushed by boulders pretty much. So it kind of plays like something like maybe on a cross between Mr. Driller or maybe even Dig Dug in a way. Very simple game, a lot of fun actually. I think the story mode actually adds a lot to the game. You know, it makes it really cool. The game has some catchy tunes as well, so the music doesn't hurt the ears as well. But one thing I want to tell you guys about is the multiplayer mode, which is a lot of fun. Now, so when you play multiplayer mode, you can play up to 4 people, and you can also play 4 people co-op as well if you have, I think if you have 4 of the game as well, but this game, you might not need 4. I'm not really sure. I have to look that up actually. Anyways, you try to collect the most jewels before everybody else, before the time runs out. And of course, the other opponents are trying to stop you, but what's really cool, you can actually rotate the screen, and actually certain boulders can fall on other characters to stop them from getting jewels, so makes it real competitive. It actually reminds me a lot of Bomberman. So you see Boulder Dash EX out there, pick it up, man. This game is a lot of fun, a total hidden gem. I think everybody will enjoy. Survival horror on the Game Boy Advance? Hell yeah, sign me up. So A Sound of Thunder is actually based off a book that's based off a movie, or the other way around. I can't really remember. But anyways, this is a survival horror game for the Game Boy Advance, and pretty much it has a very like, I don't know how to say it, but it's very like, the game really goes off the sound effects to kind of like really trip you out. It doesn't really have any music during gameplay. So basically you're depending on like what you hear is what's out there. And if you hear a sound of thunder, get ready because something is coming after you. So pretty much the game is based off the movie, and I'll just tell you what happens. So they go back in time, and they do something that kind of affects the flow of time. So, you know, you step on a butterfly or you do something different, it just has like all these crazy effects in the future. But this has to be one of the worst because something that has to do with dinosaurs coming to modern time is pretty horrible, you know. Think about this game kind of like a Jurassic Park in the main world. Like if there was no zoo to hold them, or island to like keep them in check, they were just all over the place. That's pretty much what this game is. And these dinosaurs and lizards and all kind of things just appear everywhere. And you have to like kind of depend on what you hear to know what you're up against. So as you can see, the game is played at an isometric view, and it actually works for this game. You know, these actually dinosaurs are actually pretty smart. They actually will hide around corners that you can't see, so to be very careful. That, you know, knowing that in this game made me really excited because that's true survival horror when you don't know what's behind a counter or a shelf or whatever. Also, this game has some kind of link play. I mean, I don't know if it's co-op or anything like that, but you know, I have to get another cart to see how it plays. But I actually wonder how it is. I mean, could you imagine if this was 2-player? This would be awesome. I mean, now I'm talking about 2-player at the same time, not that take turn crap. You know, you can do that with one controller. But anyways, game is very fun so far. You know, honestly, you know, you don't get too many survival horror types on the Game Boy Advance. You know, and I'm talking about the old school survival horror types where you have to use passwords, open doors. You know, you'll get locked in a room with a bunch of dinosaurs and you can't leave until you kill them. That kind of weird stuff. But anyways, guys, if you see Sound of Thunder, pick it up. You won't regret it, at least in my opinion. Alright guys, so those are 9 more gems for the Game Boy Advance. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't know if I can do another one of these. You know, I will try. There are some games that didn't make the cut for this video, but we'll see how it goes, you know. Let me know if there's any games I missed in the comments. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.